Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Alta Live. My name is Beth Spotswood. I will be your host today for today's Alta Live, and it is an absolute thrill to welcome you to today's conversation with John McKinney, better known as the Trailmaster. John has hiked hundreds, thousands of hikes. He's done all of 280 California state parks. He was the Los Angeles Times hiking columnist for 18 years, writing a weekly column. Um, and as an intrepid Eagle Scout, he has hiked and enthusiastically described more than 10,000 miles of trails across California and the United States. He has written a ton of books, a handful I have right here. We're going to talk about some of them. But for our current issue, the Trailmaster was kind enough to write about some gorgeous vistas. And we always do Alta picks. And in this issue, issue 32, the road trip issue, John wrote about four gorgeous hikes. You can't drive to them, but incredible that result in an incredible, rewarding vista. So we're going to talk to him about that and then go beyond LA, beyond Southern California. Yes, go big and go to California. Before I begin, in case you are new to Alta Journal, we are gorgeous. We're beautiful, and we're an award-winning California magazine. We're focused on California and the West. Today, we're going to be talking about California hikes, but we focus on all sorts of the West. We've got long-form journalism. We've got beautiful fiction, poetry, stunning artwork. If you haven't already subscribed, we're $50 a year. I hope you will really consider supporting us with a subscription. We have trying to hit a goal by the end of the year. So if you haven't already subscribed to Alta Journal, I'm going to pop a link in the chat. And please, please do consider supporting us with a subscription. We host weekly events like this for free. We also have the monthly California Book Club that is also free. So if you like what we do, again, thank you so much in advance for your support. Hello to Ukiah, Colorado, San Francisco, Ramona, California, South City, Beechwood Canyon. It is so great to see so many folks joining us today. And it's a thrill to be here with the Trailmaster. What a title, John. I mean, my goodness.
Well, welcome Alta hikers, and thank you, Beth, for that generous introduction. I suppose on following up on the take a hike theme, I get asked this question all the time. John, what do you do? And I answer, I tell people to take a hike. And then they say, seriously, what do you really do? And like if I had a pound of trail mix for every time I've been asked that question, like I would have a ton of trail mix. And but it's I've been blessed to be able to share my passion about hiking all around California. But strangely, answering societal's most basic question with "I'm a hiker," I tell people to take a hike. They think I'm like trifling with them or something, or they think like I'm unemployed, or my last employer told me to take a hike. but but I try to turn the question around and say, well, are you a hiker? And where do you like to hike? And I get these wonderful, warm, enthusiastic responses from people. And that's not surprising because in California, we lead the way. We've got the most hikers, and hiking is by far the most popular form of outdoor recreation.
That's so interesting. Although I did say to you before, we also have the most people. Is there, I mean, not to be a data nerd, but are
Okay,
there
okay, data nerd. We're number two per capita to Utah.
all right, okay. All right, that does it for me.
Okay.
All right, I want to start just super, super basic. Folks, then what we're gonna do, just to you're supposed to say what, give people a lay of the land here. I'm going to start with a softball. Then we're going to look at some of the images that John and Gordon Wiltsey, one of our favorite Alta Journal regular photographers, spent some time hiking and looking at these beautiful vistas in Southern California. We're going to check those out, and then we're going to talk about California hiking as the bigger picture. But first things first, John, what makes a good hike?
Well, the short answer is the one you're on. But I've had a lot of time to contemplate this. And one of the challenges when I was writing the a hiking column every week for more than 18 years is to differentiate one hike from another. Why should you take this hike? And so I would always look for something that makes it special. And that might be bird watching, that might be history, it might be five different kinds of conifers. It might be an epic view, and it's kind of all what you're looking for. And I might add the companions that you take along the way, because
Sure.
sharing the trail is ever so special.
All right, so bear with me, friends and colleagues here. We're going to share some images. These appeared in Alta Pics. So these were, um, continue to share. These were four of the vistas that you selected, John. In fact, unfortunately, you selected more, but was it one or two were lost in the most recent fires in Southern California?
Alas, we lost two of the six inspiration points.
Mm.
The classic one atop Mount Low above Altadena to the Eaton Fire, and tragically the the one in Will Rogers State Historic Park to the Palisades Fire.
All right, so you did a pivot, we did an edit, and these are the four Vista points, inspiration points that we landed on. Um, Tell us about this one.
All right, so we have many views of LA, and that's because we have many different perches upon which to look out at it here. And here we've got one from Runyon Canyon. You're looking down toward the Hollywood area, and it looks, you can kind of pick out the Sunset Strip and all that if you look carefully. And Runyon Canyon has got to be the most popular place to hike in all of LA. According to the Friends of Runyon Canyon, 2 million hikers a year do that canyon loop. And, it's probably the best place in LA to spot celebrities. I've never
Oh,
seen one, but
are you looking though?
yeah, I'm really not looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the coyotes and all that.
All right, let's see. Next on your list,
Um,
gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Not all of Inspiration Points are on mountaintop perches. This one is on the Palos Verdes Peninsula, just a gorgeous coastal view, especially at sunset.
This looks like a film. It's an opening of a scene here. Where are we looking from?
I think Gordon went up at night to two places. One is the Inspiration Point at Running Canyon, and another one in the Baldwin Hills. And he got a number of drop dead gorgeous night images of downtown.
And finally, where's this?
Mountains and mountains and mountains. There is this strange place called the King Gillette Ranch, and it's named for the razor magnate who had a house there, and his grand hacienda is now the visitor center for Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area. And you take a hike, short one, mile or so from the visitor center to Inspiration Point, and your view is of mountains, mountains, and more mountains. And we can just be thankful that these mountains, thanks to a generation of preservationists, are preserved in national parkland. Uh,
Yeah.
LA is so lucky.
I also want to point out that in um in John's article, he's got tips for each of these inspiration points. I recommend going this way. Check it out this way. So, if you haven't gotten your copy of Alta Journal, or you can read it online, if you have your digital subscription, get right on that. All right. So, one thing you mentioned to me, John, is that California has the nation's most diverse hiking trails. Can you
Well, for
I'm
sure,
surprised. And can you explain that?
you can't be surprised. Uh, let's face it, other states have forests and high peaks and vast deserts and even long coastlines, but only California has all of these and has fabulous examples of them preserved in our state and national parks. So that's where the diversity comes in. And just choose your scenery, mountain, desert, forest, coastline, and off you go on one of the best trail systems of any state in the union.
All right, you mentioned the coastline. Let's talk about hiking on the edge. You walked the entire California coastline, 1,600 miles. How long did it take?
I did it in 100 or 200-mile chunks, and if I put it all together, it was about 4.5 months. And it was an amazing journey. I mean, I started out kind of like an athlete with something to prove. I'm going to hike up the whole California coast, and then the coast worked its magic on me, and I became more like a traveler with something to learn, and I was able to deliver on the promised book that amazingly, my literary rep and I managed to convince New York editors at HarperCollins to give me an advance to do this book. Hey, I want to
This is a hardy book.
I want to hike the California coast.
Alone?
So writers out there, even the most outlandish idea can sell sometimes.
All right. And you also do, I just want to, I mean, I feel like you do a lot of different trail guides. And you included this one, Joshua Tree, that's kind of a typical trail guide that you do. Um, in terms of for not a novice hiker, let's say a medium level. I'm a medium level hiker. In Northern California, got any favorites up here?
For a medium hiker.
Well, I'll admit I spied on you, John, and I watched some of your hikes on YouTube, and you are working hard and cranking up those hills. And I'm more of a meanderer, stop and smell the roses. Oh, look, a bird.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the Bay Area has to be the trail capital of the world. I mean, I think maybe the East Bay Regional Park District has more trails than anybody. So you can take a hike in the Berkeley Hills. There's South Bay Peninsula parks. My favorite for medium hikes near the Bay Area is I love Point Reyes National Seafloor. Oh my goodness. I can't get enough of hiking there, and I go there 3 times a year.
Oh,
It,
wow.
yeah, yeah. The coastal trails are amazing. Uh, Hike up to Mount Wittenberg and look down at the peninsula. And Tamales Point has got to make everybody's top 5 hikes in California, just out to the peninsula, and you're wandering around with the tule elk and the
I was going to
wildflowers.
mention the elk.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Why do you think that California has such a great state park system?
It was two reasons. Um, California was fortunate to have a lot of interest in saving the redwoods early in the 20th century, the Semper Virens Fund, and so on. And okay, they've preserved these redwoods. What do we do with them? Well, we need to put them in a state park. And there was also a movement at that time to preserve cultural resources and historical resources. And so it all came together about 100 years ago in forming a California state park system, which now numbers 280 parks.
Which was the last one you did? Who was last on your list?
The last on my list, oh gee, there's,
Or the
there's
hardest to get to? I mean, there's got to be some that are just out in the middle of nowhere, nowhere, California.
I'm gonna massacre this name,
Okay.
but it's like Ajumawawi, and it's in lava country, and you have to uh, find a boat because there's
It's
none.
in lava country.
Yeah, the volcanic region of California
Oh,
in northeast California,
got it.
and you have to bring your own boat because there's none there. You have to canoe or kayak over to this
Oh, jeez. Okay.
area, and they've left it just as the indigenous people had it for lo these many years. And so that's got to be the most inaccessible place to hike.
The toughest hike.
Yeah, yeah. And there's some other ones that are very remote. My favorite has to be on the Lost Coast. You know, California's Lost Coast. I just
It's a
love it.
fun name.
Yeah, and it's lost because this fist of mountains comes out of the surf and shoves the Highway 1 inland 25 miles. And between the coast and the highway, there's this mountain range, the King Range, and a special state park called Sinkyone Wilderness State Park. It is a wilderness, and there you are. There's redwoods and black sand beaches and these weird little Roosevelt elk wandering around like out of the Tolkien or something. That I love that place.
Oh, I love your passion for this. All right. One question you mentioned to me that you get an awful lot is what are the most romantic hikes in California?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's like people, there's a natural connection between taking a hike out in nature and sharing it with that special someone. But people ask me, like, what are some romantic hikes? And I don't know if I'm that much of a romantic, frankly, but um, so I send them to Catalina Island. An island's always romantic, right? Then there's McWay Falls in Big Sur. It's like the only waterfall that tumbles into the Pacific.
Oh,
Yeah, that's gorgeous. And then, well, Glacier Point in Yosemite. I mean, that's pretty knockout gorgeous. I think a lot of proposals are made there. Let's see. Oh, if you're going to go to one fern-filled canyon, I would probably go to Prairie Creek Redwoods State Park. It's just completely full of ferns. And then what else? Oh, maybe the winner would be Lovers Point in
oh.
Pacific Grove along the Sillamore State Park. Yeah.
All right, folks. You heard it here. If you're going to propose to someone, four spots to go to. Um, we did get a question, and we had done folks, we received a question via email about accessibility in terms of wheelchair friendly hikes, stroller friendly hikes, even kid friendly hikes. I will tell you, and my wonderful colleague Liz is taking notes. We'll send you an email later this afternoon. We've actually done an Alta Live with a disabled hiking advocate. And so we can send you that. So I thought I would kind of pivot, John, because that's not necessarily your area of expertise, but you do know a bit about hiking with kids. I'm the parent of a 6-year-old. What do I need to know?
The short answer is just add water. I,
Okay.
kids just love being by a lake shore, a creek, um, the ocean's edge, and they can entertain themselves and you for on and on and on and on and on. And kids are such a delight to take on a hike because not only do you teach them things and share with them the joys of nature, but you can learn a lot from them. Um, I recently took my 6-year-old granddaughter on a hike, and she sat down at a boulder the side of the trail, and she looked at me and said, "Grandpa, why are there mountains?" I don't know. What a cosmic question from the mouth of babes. But uh, pick a hike that's age appropriate and just know that it's better to cover a shorter amount of terrain and have a really good time than try to be destination oriented because kids don't care about that epic view that you and I might like.
Yeah.
Um, what they care about is they can watch a banana slug for a half an hour.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I know that there are, in addition to your books, and I know there's all sorts of guides, do you recommend any apps, any kind of digital guides that have been particularly successful or you think are good? Or should we just follow our gut and figure it out?
Oh, you can't function these days, I suppose, without an app, and All Trails is a really good one. It really is.
Oh, good. That's the one I use. That and plant identifier, so I don't have another run-in with poison oak.
Yeah, and then of course there's Merlin for the birds.
Oh, what's Merlin for the birds?
Merlin, the Merlin app, you hold your iPhone up and it hears bird calls that you can't hear with the human ear practically. And it lists all of them. And lo and behold, you're passing 5, 6 birds and you have no idea what they are because most of the time you can't see them. But then it pops up a picture, what they look like, and there you are.
I love it.
Merlin is it's
Merlin app. I had
yeah.
no idea. Learn
It's
something new
it's
every day.
it's my new toy, really.
Oh, now everyone's chiming in. Stephen, love Merlin app. Cat, Merlin is essential.
Yes.
Okay. My apologies for not knowing about the Merlin app.
Yeah.
All right, oh, Amy loves Merlin. Okay, we're getting some questions. Folks, if you've got questions for John, pop them in the chat. I can't do a hand raise, but you can pop them in the chat and I will ask them. The first one, I feel, John, you're not gonna like this one. What is your favorite hike in Los Angeles County?
Whoa. That one's a hard one. It might be to the top of Mount Baden-Powell, named for the Boy Scout founder. And it's nearly as high as Mount Baldy. It's nearly 10,000 feet. And you make your way up, and there's these gnarled, twisted limber pines, that like sculpted by the wind, and they kind of frame this whole view of the basin. And I love that hike.
Do you ever lead hikes? Do you offer, a guided hike ever?
Well, I've kind of aged out of that, but I have in the past. uh, the NPR station in Los Angeles, KPCC, now known as LAist, they auctioned me off a couple years for the radio hiking club, and people pledged an obscene amount of money, and I went. I took the listeners out for a hike every month.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we've got more. India asks, is there a good LA hike for those of us older folks who can't go more than 3 miles and not too much up or downhill?
Oh, there's tons of 3 mile hikes, and you can do some really easy ones in Malibu Creek State Park that have very little elevation gain. Griffith Park is a treat as well. And I mean, every mountain range in LA has some easy foothill hikes like the San Gabriel's and so on. Of course, if you want to buy my books, I can tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, makes here. Hike California state parks right here, you guys. All right, Barbara asks, do you have a favorite California destination for 4 to 6 days of hiking? A hiking getaway, not necessarily camping, but just a place to go where you could hike every day for 4 to 6 days.
Uh, right off the top of my head, I would make a journey to the far north of the state and go to Redwood National Park. And what you get in your 4 to 6 days hiking are the tallest trees on earth and magical fern canyons. And if that wasn't enough, there's a redwood coastal trail that extends the length of the park about 40 miles. And you get fabulous tree frame coastal views.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so that's where I would go for 4 days
Well,
with
that ties in with the next question we got with Guy, who asks, "What's your favorite ocean hike?" So perhaps it's the redwoods along the ocean.
the redwood coastal trail would have to be it. Yeah. And it's a 4 day slog.
Oh,
It's
a 4 day slog.
yeah, but you can do it in chunks. It's
Sure.
the Park Service is divided into 6 sections, so you can do a
All
little at
right.
a time. You can do medium hikes, Beth.
I love a medium hike. Love a medium hike. All right, John, last question before we run out of time. It's a Beth question. It's coming from me. What is the scariest or weirdest thing that has ever happened to you in your many, many years of hiking California?
Well, I've got past rattlesnakes. I'm highly allergic to poison oak as well. A couple bears, but I guess there was this mountain lion in Big Sur, and I was backpacking alone, and I was getting near the end of the day near the Vincente Creek area, and I was walking along the creek trail, and on the other side of the creek was a mountain lion, and it stayed on the other side of the creek, and it just paralleled me, and it started to get darker and darker and darker, and I set up my tent, had my little dinner, and it got darker, and the mountain lion was still there, and the last thing I saw before it became pitch black was its amber eyes looking at me, glowing in the dark, and then they went poof, black. I had a very uncomfortable night.
I would imagine. But was that it? It went away. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And you're by yourself. Okay. Well, on that cheery note, John,
Well,
no, but this is great. I mean,
actually,
go ahead.
actually, the scariest thing to me are unprepared hikers that I meet on the
Why?
trail because I so worry about them. Um, they they're walking in flip-flops and they're unprepared for weather conditions. Countless times I've given first aid and given them water because they forgot to bring it, and they think that a cell phone is going to rescue them, and it won't. Yeah, so that would really be scary to me to see people unprepared. I worry about them.
Best ways to prepare for a hike: good shoes, water.
Let somebody know where you're hiking. Yeah, and just respect nature, respect
Mm.
that you're going into a different environment, and you'll enjoy it all the more.
Well, that's a lovelier note than you almost getting eaten by a bobcat or a mountain lion. Um, John McKinney, the Trailmaster, thank you so much for not only your great article in Alta, Alta Picks. You can find it in this issue right now, issue 32. If you don't have it, you can buy it online, or even better yet, subscribe. Um, Folks, expect an email. This interview has been recorded and will be emailed to you later this afternoon, hopefully, along with some links where you can buy John's books, where you can read his article, anything else that popped up today, as well as an invitation to join us next week, where we will be speaking with members from California, well, the nation's most successful trivia team, like pub quiz nights. We've got the nation's most successful trivia team. Three of those members are going to be joining us here at Alta Live. That's next week, August 13th at 12:30. Again, John McKinney, the Trailmaster, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Beth. Thanks, hikers. And until we meet again, hike on.
Take care, everyone.